Inside a bustling bridal shop, a staff member meticulously prepares a wedding gown, the air thick with anticipation. Suddenly, the doors burst open, and a frantic woman rushes in, pursued by a swarm of paparazzi. Confusion grips everyone present, the reason for the commotion unknown. As the staff member tries to calm her, the woman cries out, "Cancel the wedding. I can't go through with it." Quickly assessing the situation, the staff member ushers everyone else out of the room, offering the distraught woman comfort and gently helping her remove her coat. A secret is revealed. The bride-to-be is 8 months pregnant. Tears welling in her eyes, she confesses, "I don't want to be a fraud, but I also don't want to lose this wedding." Outside the door, the whispers of eavesdropping staff can be heard. The manager paces nervously, muttering, "A canceled wedding means a huge loss." The director, equally stressed, begins calculating the sunk costs of the planned event. Just then, the staff member emerges, a confident smile on her face. "I have a solution," she announces. She directs everyone back to their positions, a plan forming in her mind. With practiced hands, they dress the pregnant bride in a stunning gown, expertly applying makeup and adorning her with jewelry, transforming her into a vision of radiant beauty. As a car arrives to collect the bride, they lead her outside, where the paparazzi descend like a swarm of bees. But a clever ruse is in play. From a wider angle, it becomes clear that 3 brides emerge from the shop, each shielded by bodyguards holding umbrellas. The decoy brides distract the paparazzi, allowing the real bride's car to slip away unnoticed. The paparazzi, caught in the confusion, scramble into their own vehicles and give chase, completely fooled. Back inside, the real bride is discreetly escorted out a back exit by the bridal shop staff, executing a perfect diversion. The bridal shop has successfully shielded her from the prying eyes of the media. The grateful bride expresses her heartfelt thanks, and the staff member, beaming, wishes her a lifetime of happiness. Inside the shop, the staff erupts in applause, recognizing the brilliance of their colleague, Ariam, one of Korea's top wedding dress designers. For Ariam, a wedding dress is more than just fabric and lace. It's a symbol of hope and transformation. She believes every woman deserves to feel like a princess on her special day, regardless of their shape, size, or even the gender of their partner. Ariam's own journey to love hasn't been easy. Twice married, she understands the complexities of relationships. Her experiences have solidified her belief that a wedding dress has the power to make any woman feel like the most beautiful angel in the world. We are then introduced to her current husband, a diplomat at the embassy, a man who indulges her with extravagant gifts like a luxury car, meticulously decorated for their 1-year anniversary. While appreciative, Ariam values genuine connection over material possessions. Her true happiness lies in shared moments of joy and understanding. We see her disappointment when her husband cancels plans with friends due to work commitments, a recurring theme in their relationship. Despite her outward composure, the repeated cancellations sting. Then we meet Ji-hoon, Ariam's first husband, an undercover agent for the National Police. Their whirlwind romance began 5 years prior, a love-at-first-sight encounter that led to a hasty marriage. Despite their initial spark, their relationship crumbled after just 6 months. Ariam stumbled upon Ji-hoon during an undercover operation, a scene easily misinterpreted. Bound by his confidential work, Ji-hoon couldn't offer a satisfactory explanation, leading to their painful divorce. It took Ariam 4.5 years to tentatively open her heart again, eventually leading to her marriage to the diplomat. Their lives settled into a semblance of normalcy. Ariam, though still carrying a torch for her ex-husband, tried to move on, but fate, it seemed, had other plans. 5 years later, their paths collided once again, brought together by another mission. And in the most poignant of locations, the very island where their love story had begun. A reunion at the birthplace of their love. A chance encounter or destiny's intricate design? Ariam's ex-husband, Ji-hoon, was assigned to protect an informant, who, as it turned out, was Ariam's friend, Sophie, a renowned scientist. Ironically, Sophie was the one who had introduced Ariam to her current husband, creating a tangled web of connections. On the night of Sophie's wedding, a sense of unease hung in the air. Sophie, harboring a secret, discreetly tore her wedding dress, using it as a pretext to lure Ariam away from the festivities. Once alone, Sophie slipped a file and a USB drive into Ariam's purse, entrusting her with vital technological secrets that many coveted. Unbeknownst to them, a corporate spy named Pil-ho, secretly in love with Sophie, was also present. He had been tipped off by Dubong, a rival company executive, that Sophie, having accepted a bribe, had betrayed them. and likely handed over confidential documents to the national police. Dubong urged Pil-ho to retrieve the documents. However, Dubong's true intention was to acquire the technology for himself, planning to sell it and split the profits with Pil-ho, leaving their current company in the dark. Pil-ho agreed to the deceitful scheme. As night fell and the wedding reception buzzed with activity, Ariam, Ji-hoon, and Pil-ho all converged on the scene. Sophie, anticipating danger, had alerted the police, instructing the security to intercept them upon arrival. While outside making a hushed phone call, Sophie was discovered by Pil-ho. Feigning concern, he warned her of the impending danger and offered his protection, hoping to gain her trust. But Sophie, seeing through his deception, called for security to restrain him and fled. Ariam, witnessing the commotion, instinctively gave chase. Ji-hoon, observing the unfolding drama from the dance floor, sensed something amiss and followed. Sophie raced through the venue and out a side exit, with Ariam close behind. Suddenly, a stranger bumped into Ariam, creating a diversion. As another guest approached, the stranger turned and fired a gun. In a flash of bravery, Ji-hoon shielded Ariam, taking the bullet himself. The two ex-spouses reunited in a moment of peril and found themselves face to face as fireworks erupted overhead, a symbolic display perhaps hinting at a rekindled romance. In the aftermath, their first concern was for each other's safety. After tending to Ji-hoon's wounded arm, Ariam questioned his presence at the wedding. Maintaining his cover, he claimed to be working security, a convenient lie that masked his true mission. A moment of awkwardness hung in the air before being interrupted by a ringing phone. It was about Sophie's dropped purse. Ji-hoon inquired about the situation, prompting Ariam to reveal her friendship with Sophie and her knowledge of Sophie's scientific work. Determined to identify the mysterious assailant, Ariam and Ji-hoon reviewed security footage. However, instead of helpful clues, they were met with mostly embarrassing footage of Ji-hoon's awkward pole dancing attempt from earlier in the evening. With the security footage proving useless, Ariam provided Sophie's villa address, prompting Ji-hoon to immediately begin investigating. Despite Ariam's insistence that he tends to his wound, Ji-hoon brushed it off. Ariam, ever caring, tore a piece of fabric to create a makeshift bandage for him. A spark ignited between them, a lingering familiarity from their shared past. They arrived at Sophie's villa, their investigation taking a more serious turn. Inside Sophie's bedroom, they discovered a mud-stained wedding dress, a passport tucked inside her suitcase, and a substantial amount of cash. It was clear someone had been there, but it wasn't the work of a typical burglar. As they searched, Pil-ho also arrived at the villa. His fruitless search and subsequent departure alerted Ariam and Ji-hoon to his presence. Spotting a car speeding away from the villa, Ariam urged Ji-hoon to call the police. He pretended to comply, but instead he contacted his colleague, Seo Ra, for assistance. Meanwhile, Sophie, pursued by unknown individuals, fled into the nearby woods. In her desperate escape, she tumbled down a slope, losing consciousness but inadvertently evading her pursuers. Ji-hoon enlisted the help of his colleagues in the search for clues, their interactions marked by an easy camaraderie that puzzled Ariam. Observing their coordinated efforts from a window, she confronted Ji-hoon, demanding to know the truth about his current occupation, suspecting he might be involved in organized crime. As Ji-hoon attempted to apply medicine to his wound, Ariam, unable to bear the sight, gently took over. The intimate moment led to a conversation about their past relationship. Ji-hoon reflected on their whirlwind romance, lamenting the lack of time they had to nurture their love before their hasty marriage and subsequent divorce. Ariam reminisced about their early days as a couple, when their lives revolved around each other outside of work. She recalled a particularly amusing and slightly awkward memory of them accidentally encountering each other naked, a moment of shared vulnerability and laughter. Ji-hoon's childlike comfort in her presence during those early days represented Ariam's happiest memories. However, their bliss was short-lived. The strain of Ji-hoon's secretive life as an undercover agent created a rift between them. His injuries, a constant reminder of the dangers he faced, became a source of both worry and resentment for Ariam. She perceived his secrecy as a form of irresponsibility, contributing to the growing distance between them. But the final blow to their marriage came from a misunderstanding. Upon returning home one day, Ariam overheard a woman's voice and discovered a female colleague in Ji-hoon's apartment. Despite his attempts to explain, the damage was done. This incident, a tragic case of mistaken identity, became the catalyst for their divorce. To this day, Ariam remains unaware of Ji-hoon's true profession. Their trip down memory lane was interrupted by the arrival of a motorcycle. It was SEO Ra, Ji-hoon's colleague. Ji-hoon received a call, scheduling a meeting in 20 minutes, leaving SEO Ra perplexed by his secretive behavior. SEO Ra's arrival at the villa only fueled the misunderstanding between the three. Ji-hoon, frustrated by the Tangled situation, could only watch as Ariam stormed off. Later, after piecing together the events, SEO Ra urged Ji-hoon to explain the situation to Ariam and clarify their purely professional relationship. Meanwhile, a sleepy young man on SEO Ra's team was revealed to be harboring a secret crush on her. During a video conference with their team leader, SEO Ra reported on Ji-hoon's progress. The smitten young man, eavesdropping, was caught and tasked with reviewing the documents SEO Ra had sent. The team leader emphasized the importance of locating the informant to ensure her safety, unaware of the young man's continued attempts to steal glances at SEO Ra. After concluding the meeting, the team leader pointedly closed the window, prompting the love-struck young Gu to reluctantly leave. As Ji-hoon rode his motorcycle, he encountered Ariam. He attempted to apologize and clear up the misunderstanding without revealing his true identity. But a sudden phone call interrupted their conversation. The news of Sophie's fall sent Ariam into a panic. They rushed to the scene, where Ji-hoon confirmed the grim discovery. Ariam, distraught, prayed for Sophie. Ji-hoon gently informed her that the deceased wasn't Sophie. Overwhelmed with relief, Ariam leaned into his embrace, a moment of shared vulnerability, before quickly regaining her composure. Ji-hoon escorted her back to the hotel. As they parted ways, unspoken words lingered between them. Back in her room, Ariam stared at Sophie's wedding dress and purse, a sense of unease washing over her. She picked up her phone, plugged it into charge, and called her husband, Decryption, informing him that Sophie was still missing. After ending the call, Decryption's demeanor shifted dramatically, a sinister expression replacing his previous concern as he contacted another person. Meanwhile, Sophie regained consciousness in the forest, disoriented and alone. Seeking help, she borrowed a phone from a passing couple and contacted Ariam, her voice filled with urgency. With no one else to trust, she pleaded with Ariam to meet her as soon as possible. Stressing the need for secrecy, Ariam immediately hired a car and set off to find Sophie, unknowingly followed by Ji-hoon on his motorcycle. At an amusement park, Ji-hoon spotted Sophie first, but she, trusting only Ariam, evaded him, disappearing into the crowd. A collision with a young boy caused Ji-hoon to lose sight of her. Sophie sought refuge on the carousel. Ji-hoon frantically searched for her, boarding the carousel but finding it empty. Just then, a mysterious man approached Sophie. A scream pierced the air, drawing the attention of everyone present. Sophie lay dead on the carousel, a gruesome scene that left Ariam speechless. Ji-hoon, arriving moments later, realized he had lost his only lead. The director blamed Ji-hoon for the tragic turn of events, forcing him to step away from the case. SEO Ra defended him, attempting to explain the complexities of the situation to their superiors. A grieving Ariam gave her statement to the police, while her husband, Decryption, arrived to comfort her. As they left, Ji-hoon observed them from a distance, discreetly slipping away. Back at their hotel, Decryption's true colors emerged. One moment he was consoling Ariam, the next he was engaged in a clandestine phone call, his face contorted in a chilling expression. Ariam and Decryption boarded a flight back home, unaware that Ji-hoon was also on the same plane. The stage set for another fateful encounter. A chance encounter on the plane brought Ariam's current husband, Decryption, and her ex-husband, Ji-hoon, face to face. While Decryption was unaware of Ji-hoon's past relationship with Ariam, an immediate sense of animosity arose between the two men. Back on the ground, Ariam and Du-rae analyzed Sophie's death, focusing on Sophie's cryptic warning to trust no one, including both her ex-husband and current husband. Du-rae expressed her confusion, sensing a hidden secret surrounding Sophie's life. Meanwhile, the director took Ji-hoon to a clandestine meeting with a European man. Their hushed conversation hinted at something significant. After the meeting, the director instructed Ji-hoon to uncover the truth behind Sophie's death within 2 weeks, and to recover crucial data from her phone. Back at headquarters, Ji-hoon's team reviewed Sophie's case, focusing on the individuals connected to her. They ruled out Sophie's Chinese husband, who was out of the country at the time of the incident. A shadowy figure seen following Sophie on her wedding night proved difficult to identify. This left Ariam, Sophie's last contact before her death, as their primary person of interest. The team turned their attention to Ji-hoon. His connection to Ariam was now a focal point of the investigation. The director, without hesitation, assigned him the task of investigating his ex-wife. With Young-gu providing support, Young-gu bombarded Ji-hoon with questions about Ariam, from her personality and character to her physical attributes. Ji-hoon, intimately familiar with his ex-wife, patiently answered. Their investigation led them to an art gallery, where Young-gu, equipped with surveillance glasses, successfully eavesdropped on a conversation about a custom wedding dress order from Ariam's shop. The client was identified as Dong-ran, the second daughter of the DDK Corporation. Young-gu immediately began digging into Dong-ran's background, discovering a strained relationship with her older brother, Dong-taek, due to their being half-siblings. Through surveillance, Young-gu also witnessed Ariam's dedication to her clients, going above and beyond to ensure their satisfaction. Back at the bridal shop, Ariam and Do-rae discussed Dong-ran over instant noodles, noting the connection between Dong-ran's brother and Ariam's current husband. Their conversation was interrupted by a knock at the door. A colleague announced the arrival of a visitor, revealing him to be Ji-hoon. Much to Ariam's surprise, the reception staff, well aware of their past relationship, gossiped about their reunion, adding to Ariam's embarrassment. Ji-hoon greeted everyone cordially before being ushered into a fitting room by Ariam for a private conversation. Ariam updated him on Sophie's situation, before excusing herself momentarily. Ji-hoon seized the opportunity to copy information from her phone. As fate would have it, Derek-hyun, Ariam's current husband, also arrived at the shop. The two men encountered each other in the fitting room, oblivious to their connection to Ariam. Mistaking each other for fellow grooms-to-be, they engaged in a surprisingly friendly exchange, offering each other fashion advice. Do-rae, ever the curious friend, pressed Ariam about Ji-hoon's visit, suspecting it was more than just a loan request. Ariam, deflecting the questions, simply claimed he needed money. Do-rae, unconvinced, continued to probe, but Ariam refused to elaborate. The following day, Ariam attended Sophie's funeral, hoping to glean information about Sophie's life leading up to her death. A neighbor offered a crucial detail. The night before the wedding, he had witnessed Sophie arguing with a man outside, her distress evident, even after the man drove off in a loud sports car, its roar echoing through the quiet neighborhood. Hoping to learn more, Ariam visited Sophie's research institute, only to find it eerily deserted. Inside the darkened building, she encountered a masked man, his presence radiating menace. Ariam, maintaining a cool composure, stared him down, causing him to shield his face further. As he drew closer, a chilling fear gripped her. After he passed, Ariam, summoning her courage, turned back to see where he was going. She discovered Sophie's office, ransacked and in disarray. The masked man reappeared, pretending to lock the door. Sensing danger, Ariam quickly retreated, fearing she might be his next victim. Reaching the stairwell, she called security, only to learn that no one had been authorized to lock Sophie's office. She considered calling the police but hesitated, worried about alerting the masked man. Deciding to investigate further, she returned to the office, only to find the masked man waiting for her. Ji-hoon, tracking Ariam's location, arrived just as the confrontation escalated. Ariam struggled to detain the masked man, hoping to unmask him, but he overpowered her and escaped. Undeterred, she pursued him, their chase witnessed by onlookers. Ji-hoon, torn between helping Ariam and protecting his cover, watched as she bravely stepped in front of the escaping man's car, forcing it to swerve and speed away. Ariam fell to the ground, narrowly avoiding being hit. Ji-hoon instructed his colleague to take care of Ariam, while he pursued the masked man in his car. Ariam was taken to the hospital, shaken but unharmed. Ji-hoon's pursuit was cut short by a passing truck, obscuring his view of the fleeing vehicle. In her hospital bed, Ariam received a call from Ji-hoon, inquiring about her well-being. Ji-hoon then contacted Young-gu, updating him on the situation. Young-gu, seizing the opportunity, obtained Ariam's car keys and retrieved the dashcam footage. Meanwhile, Derek-hyun, preparing for a meeting, received a cryptic text message. His face paled as he read the message, his composure shattered. He immediately made a call, seeking further information. After the call, he frantically tried to reach Ariam, but she, preoccupied with Ji-hoon's call, didn't answer. She texted Derek-hyun, claiming to be in a meeting, leaving him frustrated. Ariam then inquired about the person who brought her to the hospital, wanting to express her gratitude. The nurse informed Ariam that the person who brought her to the hospital had already left. Ariam assumed it was a kind stranger, unaware of Ji-hoon's involvement. Back at headquarters, Ji-hoon faced the wrath of his superiors for losing the masked man, enduring a public dressing down that not only criticized his incompetence, but also mocked his failed marriage. While Ji-hoon feigned indifference, the words stung. Later, on the rooftop, Ji-hoon confided in Seo Ra, expressing his regret over not revealing his true profession to Ariam, believing it might have saved their marriage. He felt a deep sense of indebtedness to her. Seo Ra, privy to the real reason behind their divorce, encouraged him to make amends and consider a fresh start. Years earlier, on Ji-hoon's birthday, a planned celebration at home was interrupted by an urgent mission. Despite Ariam's pleas, duty called, and he left. The constant absences and resulting loneliness took a toll on Ariam, her resentment growing with each passing mission. Later, summoned to the hospital, Ariam learned of Ji-hoon's near-fatal injury in the line of duty. The incident brought a mix of fear and longing. She feared losing him but also yearned for a life where his work wouldn't constantly pull him away. The weight of his responsibilities, both to his dangerous job and to his neglected wife, became unbearable for Ji-hoon. He made a difficult decision, enlisting Seo Ra's help in staging a scenario that would prompt Ariam to ask for a divorce. Back in the present, at the bridal shop, Du-rae questioned Ariam about her head injury, urging her to abandon her investigation into Sophie's death to avoid further danger. Ariam, haunted by dreams of Sophie pleading for help, felt compelled to uncover the truth. Du-rae, noting Ariam's preference for confiding in Ji-hoon over Derek-hyun, teased her about rekindling her old flame. Just then, Derek-hyun arrived at the shop, ostensibly checking on Ariam's well-being, but his true motive was to gauge her progress in the investigation. Before leaving, he offered to fix her dashcam. As Derek-hyun exited the shop, Ji-hoon, observing from across the street, followed him. Derek-hyun drove to his auto repair shop, followed shortly by another luxury car, adding another layer of intrigue to the unfolding mystery. The man who arrived at the auto repair shop confronted Derek-hyun, blaming him for causing trouble. Derek-hyun, maintaining a calm demeanor, assured him that he would handle the situation. Their conversation was discreetly recorded by Ji-hoon, providing valuable evidence for his investigation. Young-gu, reviewing the photos, identified the man as Dong-taek, the son of the DDK Corporation's chairman, and Dong-ran's older brother. He noted Dong-taek's unsavory reputation, hinting at potential involvement in illicit activities. Back at the bridal shop, Ariam, examining Sophie's belongings, discovered a hidden phone and a set of documents. She quickly plugged in the phone, scrolling through the messages, one of which was from a police officer. Unbeknownst to her, the messages were from Ji-hoon. Just then, Ariam received a call from the police, requesting her presence at their office. Upon arrival, the director instructed her to maintain confidentiality before revealing Sophie's role as a police informant. Ariam, already aware of Sophie's secret, remained composed. The director asked Ariam to hand over Sophie's belongings. At that moment, he received a call from Ji-hoon, who was en route to the office. The director ordered Ji-hoon to change into his police uniform and instructed Ariam to remain calm, no matter what she saw or heard. As Ariam was about to inquire about the police officer who had been messaging Sophie, the director informed her that she knew him. Ji-hoon entered, revealing the truth about his profession and the circumstances surrounding their divorce. The director then proposed that Ariam become a police informant, a request she readily accepted, driven by her desire to bring Sophie's killer to justice. With Ji-hoon as her contact, they embarked on a series of clandestine meetings, their communication shrouded in secrecy. One evening, after a late-night training session at a shooting range, Ariam discovered her car had a flat tire. Ji-hoon offered her a ride back to the shop. As they arrived, Derek-hyun drove by. Noticing the 3 mannequins displayed in the window, he jokingly asked if Ariam had 2 husbands, creating an awkward moment. Ariam quickly explained, introducing Ji-hoon and Derek-hyun to each other. The 2 men, current husband and ex-husband, shook hands, their smiles masking the underlying tension. Beneath the surface, a silent rivalry simmered. From then on, Ariam and Ji-hoon's communication intensified, their conversations encompassing both work and personal matters, their bond deepening with each shared secret. They visited one of Sophie's acquaintances, who revealed that several of Sophie's ex-boyfriends had attended the wedding. He described one particular ex, a well-connected man who had invested in Sophie's research. He worked at the United Nations, was handsome, and had a passion for cars. Ariam's expression froze. She seemed to recognize the description. At police headquarters, the director reviewed the latest findings with the team. The case now centered around several key figures: the gangster, Du Bong, the masked man, Pil Ho Peter, Sophie's fiancé, Derek Hyun, and staff members at the Foreign Affairs Office. The director specifically instructed Ji-hoon to prioritize not only solving the case, but also ensuring Ariam's safety. Meanwhile, Ariam and Derek Hyun shared a tense dinner, suspicion hanging heavy in the air. Both contemplated confronting each other but hesitated. Seo Ra joined them, attempting to diffuse the tension with a casual game of mahjong. During a brief moment when Seo Ra stepped away, Du Bong revealed to Pil Ho that Derek Hyun had purchased a gun on the day of Sophie's death. At the same time, Ji-hoon meticulously reviewed security footage from the amusement park, searching for clues. The director entered, prompting Ji-hoon to quickly remove a USB drive. The director inquired about his progress, but Ji-hoon concealed his latest discovery. He then rushed to Du Bong's restaurant, where Young-gu, using fingerprints obtained by Seo Ra, began investigating. They quickly identified Pil Ho Peter. The team reconvened, analyzing the new information. The director assigned further tasks, and again questioned Ji-hoon about the video footage. Ji-hoon claimed to have given it to Young-gu, but upon reviewing the footage back at the office, they discovered a crucial section had been deleted. Seo Ra immediately reported this to the director. Ariam, borrowing a colleague's car, encountered Ji-hoon, who attempted to call her, but she ignored the call. Ji-hoon followed her to an auto repair shop, observing a mechanic receiving a mysterious delivery. The mechanic then hurriedly drove off, with Ariam and Ji-hoon in pursuit. At a junkyard, while the mechanic worked on the car's engine, Ariam, donning sunglasses, approached the vehicle, recalling her previous encounter with a similar black car driven by the masked man. She slipped inside, searching for evidence, much to Ji-hoon's concern. Suddenly, the mechanic, needing a tool, walked towards the black car. Ariam ducked down to avoid being seen. Ji-hoon, armed with a metal rod, prepared to intervene. Fortunately, the mechanic was called away at the last minute, averting a potential confrontation. Meanwhile, Derek Hyun and his assistant prepared for a meeting, strategically placing a polar bear toy in the room. As the meeting commenced, he discreetly replaced the toy with an identical one, containing a hidden recording device. Later that evening, Derek Hyun retrieved the recording, learning that his superiors were searching for a North Korean defector. Ji-hoon returned to the auto repair shop, prompting the mechanic to alert Derek Hyun, who immediately raced to the scene. A tense standoff ensued, with Ji-hoon refusing to leave. Fearing his cover would be blown, Derek Hyun initiated a fight. Just as things escalated, Dong Taek arrived, curious about the commotion. The mechanic revealed the connection between the two men and Ariam, diffusing the situation. Leaving the repair shop, Ji-hoon vowed to investigate the trio further. Back at home, Ariam discovered Derek Hyun's computer playing a recording. He returned unexpectedly, catching her off guard. They exchanged strained pleasantries, after which Derek Hyun coldly asked her to leave the room. Ariam, unnerved by his icy demeanor, sat alone on the stairs, a growing sense of unease washing over her. Ji-hoon, tailing Pil Ho Peter, followed him as he left his apartment. Simultaneously, Ariam, noticing Derek Hyun leaving their home, followed him as well. Both Ji-hoon and Ariam witnessed Derek Hyun meeting with Pil Ho Peter, a shocking revelation that unveiled their secret connection as brothers. Distraught by this discovery, Ariam sought solace in alcohol at her bridal shop, struggling to process the implications of her husband's apparent double life. Ji-hoon, equally troubled, worried about Ariam's safety and the dangerous path she was on. The next day, Ji-hoon sent a cryptic message to Pil Ho Peter, luring him to a secluded location. Ji-hoon played a pre-recorded video, revealing Sophie's true identity and work. Pil Ho Peter, heartbroken and enraged, blamed Ji-hoon for failing to protect Sophie. As they fought, Ji-hoon proposed a collaboration, directing Pil Ho Peter's attention to the video, which now showed Derek Hyun. Pil Ho Peter was stunned, unable to comprehend his brother's apparent betrayal. Ji-hoon cautioned that Derek Hyun's guilt hadn't been definitively established. United by their shared desire for justice for Sophie, and in Ji-hoon's case, to protect Ariam, they formed an unlikely alliance. Thus began their unlikely partnership. Ariam, visiting her mother in the hospital, unexpectedly encountered Derek Hyun, his presence fueling her resolve to expose his deceit. Implementing a plan, Ji-hoon contacted Ariam, claiming to have found something in Sophie's belongings and suggesting he return it to her. Ariam, playing along, instructed him to leave it in her office. Decryption, overhearing the conversation, his suspicions aroused, feigned leaving but secretly returned to Ariam's office. Hoping to intercept the item, he carefully searched the room, his actions observed by Ji-hoon through surveillance cameras. As Decryption searched, Ariam entered, confronting him directly. She questioned his interest in Sophie's death, suggesting his involvement. Simultaneously, Ji-hoon watched the confrontation unfold on his monitor, adding another piece to the puzzle. Ariam revealed Sophie's warning about trusting no one, expressing her suspicion of an affair between Decryption and Sophie. She then mentioned the mechanic at the auto repair shop and the secret recording, further tightening the net around Decryption. He attempted to deflect her accusations, claiming they were work-related. Ariam pressed further, questioning him about the man she had seen him with on the banks of the Han River. Decryption, realizing he was being followed, asked if she knew the man. Ariam confirmed her suspicions, identifying him as the man who had been stalking Sophie. She accused Sophie of being a corporate spy, implying Decryption was involved as well. Cornered, Decryption admitted to a connection with Sophie's death and a past relationship with her, but denied any knowledge of her killer's identity, prioritizing Ariam's safety and maintaining his cover. He refused to disclose his true profession. Despite her persistent questioning, Ariam, overwhelmed and heartbroken, decided to move back in with her mother. As Decryption left her office, Ariam broke down, her sobs echoing through the empty space. Ji-hoon, watching through the surveillance cameras, felt a pang of sympathy. Decryption, despite his deception, also seemed burdened by the situation, shedding tears in his car. The scene shifted to introduce a new character, a beautiful and alluring woman known only as Hot Girl, North Korea's top hacker. Her exploits were legendary, including infiltrating high-security U.S. political systems in mere minutes. Her skills and anonymity made her a formidable force in the cyber world, setting the stage for her involvement in the unfolding drama. The director, referring to the hacker as Yo-jung, sought her expertise in cracking the password Sophie had set before her death. During negotiations, Yo-jung's exorbitant fee prompted a humorous response from Ji-hoon, who jokingly inquired about installment plans. Unfazed, Yo-jung remained firm, leading to a comical exchange about splitting the payment. The team then engaged in a hilarious discussion about raising the funds, with each member pleading poverty, leaving Seo Ra as their only hope. Meanwhile, Decryption and his assistant also approached Yo-jung. They offered a generous sum, with the sole condition that she complete the task before the police. Yo-jung, seeing the opportunity for profit, readily agreed. Shortly after, Ji-hoon also approached her with payment, his motives mirroring Decryption's, to uncover the truth, and, importantly, to protect Ariam. Feeling lost and confused, Ariam confided in Do-rae about Ji-hoon's presence at the junkyard. Do-rae revealed that Ji-hoon had followed Ariam out of concern. This realization dawned on Ariam, who understood that Ji-hoon knew more than he let on. She recalled his thoughtful gesture of bringing her comfort food, a silent acknowledgement of her emotional turmoil. Dong-ran arrived at the bridal shop, demanding Sophie's wedding dress. Ariam, fiercely protective of her friend's memory, refused. Their argument escalated, with Dong-ran threatening to return. After Dong-ran left, Ariam, in a fit of anger, removed the dress from the mannequin. As she prepared to have it cleaned, she discovered a USB drive hidden in the hem. Decryption contacted Yo-jung, inquiring about the password. She informed him of a missing device needed to complete the task. At the same time, Ji-hoon contacted Yo-jung, requesting a meeting at Sophie's research institute. Decryption escorted Yo-jung to the institute, equipping her with surveillance glasses, allowing him to monitor her every move. However, upon arrival, Yo-jung was intercepted by Ji-hoon, who confiscated and examined the glasses. Quick thinking, Yo-jung snatched them back and dropped them into a fish tank, thwarting Decryption's surveillance attempt. With Decryption's remote view compromised, he instructed his assistant to keep watch outside. Inside, Ji-hoon waited as Yo-jung worked on cracking the password. The normally composed researchers found themselves flustered by the presence of the beautiful hacker. A comical scene unfolded as the researcher escorted Yo-jung to the computer lab. A 2-minute journey stretched into a half-hour, filled with awkward small talk about new technologies and frequent glances at the attractive hacker. Finally arriving, the researcher offered Yo-jung a meal before she began her work. Yo-jung's fingers flew across the keyboard, her expertise evident. Cracking the password proved trivial, but a missing USB drive, the one Ariam had found, was essential to decrypting the program. Realizing she was at an impasse, Yo-jung seized an opportunity and fled. The researcher, returning with food, found the lab empty. Ji-hoon, alerted to her escape, launched a pursuit, coordinating with his colleagues to intercept her. Yo-jung, disguised as a researcher, made her way out of the building, using a fire extinguisher to disable a guard and stealing a car to reach the international airport. En route, she hacked into the airline system, changing her flight details. True to her reputation, she successfully fled the country. Dong-taek, furious at the turn of events, confronted Derek-hyun, while the director reprimanded Ji-hoon for his failure to apprehend the hacker. Just then, the director received a call from Ariam, requesting a meeting. She pleaded with him to give Derek-hyun a chance to redeem himself. The following evening, Ji-hoon met with Ariam at her shop. They spoke at length, their conversation drifting from personal matters to ideals and hopes for the future. Ariam then asked Ji-hoon to help Derek-hyun return to the right path, suggesting he cooperate with the police to apprehend the mastermind behind the conspiracy. Ji-hoon initially refused, not solely due to their complicated history, but also because he believed Derek-hyun didn't deserve Ariam's unwavering loyalty. However, seeing her determination to save her husband, he reluctantly agrees to his love for her, overriding his personal feelings. After Ji-hoon left, Ariam contacted Derek-hyun. Driven by his desire to save both himself and his marriage, he rushed to meet her. Ariam urged him to provide all the information he had on his organization to the international police, his only way out of the dangerous situation. Seeing his hesitation, she issued an ultimatum: betray the organization or betray her. She gave him 3 days to decide. Derek-hyun returned home and began destroying all evidence of his espionage activities, burning passports, phones, contact information, and documents, suggesting a genuine intention to defect for Ariam's sake. Meanwhile, Derek-hyun's assistant reported his unusual behavior to a mysterious figure, presumably the mastermind behind the operation. Ariam, seeking comfort, confided in Do-rae, recounting the recent events. Do-rae, incredulous, remarked on Ariam's extraordinary predicament, finding humor in her tangled relationships with a former husband, who was an international police officer, and a current husband involved in corporate espionage. Overwhelmed, Ariam broke down in tears. Do-rae comforted Ariam, hugging her and lamenting her friend's decision to marry. Later, after the shop closed, the masked man cut the power and slipped inside. Ariam returned to the darkened shop and entered, unaware of the intruder. As she reached for the emergency lights, he was forced to hide. Hearing a noise, Ariam cautiously entered the main room, finding the wedding dresses shimmering under a faint light. Sensing someone's presence but dismissing it, she left and locked the door. Pil-ho emerged from his hiding place and attempted to escape, but Ariam suddenly returned, blocking his exit. With no other option, he attacked her, knocking her unconscious. Later, Do-rae, unable to reach Ariam, arrived at the shop, growing increasingly apprehensive as she approached. She discovered Ariam lying unconscious, her phone nearby. She managed to rouse Ariam, who slowly regained consciousness. It became clear that Pil-ho was searching for the USB drive Ariam had found, a decryption key designed by Sophie. This key was crucial for unlocking Sophie's research, requiring both an eye scan and a USB drive. Derek-hyun, after much internal struggle, finally agreed to meet with the international police, unaware that his contact would be Ji-hoon. Ji-hoon, now openly revealing his true identity as both a police officer and a double agent, confronted Derek-hyun, signaling a potential shift in their dynamic. Ji-hoon brought Derek-hyun to the police station, where the director initially conducted the interrogation, but to no avail. Ji-hoon took over, attaching a lie detector to Derek-hyun. As the interrogation progressed, Derek-hyun unexpectedly turned on Ji-hoon, accusing him of failing to protect Sophie. Enraged, Ji-hoon's anger flared, prompting his colleagues to intervene. Ariam, hiding the USB drive inside a tube of lipstick, met with Ji-hoon later that evening, questioning his distrust of Derek-hyun. Ji-hoon explained his need to thoroughly analyze Derek-hyun's information before placing his full trust in him. Meanwhile, Derek-hyun's assistant also grew suspicious of him. At the auto repair shop, he encountered Pil-ho and questioned Derek-hyun's recent actions, particularly his silence about Dong-taek. As Pil-ho was leaving, he noticed an injury on the assistant's leg. The assistant, caught off guard, claimed it was from a fall. With Ariam away from the shop, Du-Ray summoned both Ji-hoon and Derek-hyun, urging them to prioritize Ariam's safety, and revealing the attack by the masked man, mentioning the attacker's leg injury. This detail triggered Derek-hyun's memory of his assistant's similar injury. As they reviewed the security footage, they realized the masked man was attempting to disable the cameras. Derek-hyun, concerned for Ariam's safety, rushed to the shop, where he encountered and fought with the masked intruder. During the struggle, the mask came off, revealing Ji-hoon, much to Derek-hyun's surprise. Ji-hoon insisted he was only there to protect Ariam. Just then, Ariam arrived, forcing both men to hide. This incident led to an unlikely truce between Derek-hyun and Ji-hoon. On a rooftop, they discussed apprehending Dong-taek at Dong-ran's upcoming wedding, agreeing to involve Ariam in their plan. Derek-hyun also revealed that capturing his assistant would expose the mastermind behind the conspiracy. Ariam, observing their conversation, was astonished by the unexpected cooperation between her current and former husbands. Will their plan succeed? And what will become of this complicated love triangle?